Welcome to Chamber Chat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Donna Meyer, President of the St. Mary Parish Chamber of Commerce. And with me this morning is Ty Porter Green, who is running for District Judge, 16th Judicial District, Division H. Good morning, Ty.
Good morning, Donna.
Thank you for coming out to be with us on Chamber Chat.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for this opportunity and for the warm welcome.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go with a few questions so that people can learn a little bit more about you, okay?
Okay.
So the first question is, what's important about this race for the voters to know?
What I think is important, as I've been walking the district and meeting voters, several people have said, well, you know, I don't go to court, or I don't have any reason to go before a judge. And so, first of all, getting them to understand the significant role judges play within our community and by extension, by our district. And so in saying that, while you may yourself not have an occasion to have to go to court or have a legal matter decided by a judge, family members do. Other members of our community do. And so for persons that have had experiences in court, for many of them, there is a healthy skepticism about the ability for justice to truly be impartial,
Sure.
for there to be a belief that they will have their fair day in court. And so part of, I guess one of my talents is I love to share information. And so I want all members of these three different parishes to know that judges are a very important part of our community. And so to educate yourselves on the candidates that are running, that is part of your civic duty. And if you are a person that does have an occasion to go to court, if you have experiences in court, I want you to know that I understand the healthy skepticism that you may have. And in me, as your next district court judge for Division H, you will get someone that is committed to following the rule of law, as judges are duty bound to do. However, my caveat is, with me, it will be not only following the rule of law, but with an even-handed application of it. And so for persons that may think, because, for example, a gentleman asked me, what do you think about men? You don't have to worry about whether or not that judge has any predispositions if you consider me for your next district court judge. I am going to be fair, I'm going to be impartial, I'm going to be independent, I'm going to make rulings based upon what the law says and what the facts and the evidence bear out. Great.
Well, our next question is, what distinguishes you from your opponents?
There are three persons in the race for Division H. Myself and a colleague, Ms. Butler, and a colleague, Mr. Hamilton. With me as your next district court judge, you get someone with 26 years of legal experience. But it's not just legal experience, it's diverse legal experience. From having been a civil practitioner with Simmons, Pittman, and McGraw, working on all different matters, family cases, personal injury cases, wills, successions, custody and property disputes, just the gambit. And from there, my criminal experience has been not only as a criminal defense attorney defending juveniles and adults, but also as a prosecutor. And then now I am an attorney consultant for the Court Improvement Program of the Louisiana Supreme Court. So then I bring a policy understanding, working statewide with policymakers on system reform. That, coupled with my just as rigorous and engaged involvement in the community through all sorts of civic, religious, and community programming, I've been very active on both ends as a public servant and a community servant. And finally, I would encourage you to do your own research, educate yourselves. All three of us in the Division H race have websites. And I would just suggest in you doing your research and reading about all three of us understanding what we've done as practitioners, that's going to be the best predeterminant of what we will do as a district court judge. And so I believe that that's what distinguishes me. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my personal life, the fact that I am married. I've been married 27 years to my husband, Eric, who is a manager at Walgreens. My 3 children, my 3 young adults, Amina, Eric Jr., and Lindsay Danielle, they are actually the ones that keep me grounded, that keep me balanced from the passion that I feel for what's needed for our legal community at this time, for our society, the members of the 16th at this time. They help me stay balanced.
Wow, that's good information to know. I love hearing that. Very refreshing. So the next question is, what are your greatest professional and personal accomplishments?
Well, okay, the personal is easy. Again, the fact that I've been married to a young man that I met in Mayberry Dining Hall at Southern University in 1988, that we've been married as long as we have. Our 3 children who, like all children, raising them was like a roller coaster ride, ups and downs, health issues, challenges with school, with academics and learning, personality conflicts when we hit the teenage years. But now that they're young adults, we are so blessed to see them and their servant hearts. They work very hard, but they're also very actively engaged in doing their role, their part in the community. And so I would have to say that's my personal accomplishment. Professional, that story is still unfolding. Certainly the fact that as a young wife and mother moving to Jeanerette, Louisiana, knowing that I'm from Los Angeles, California. So that was an accomplishment. That was very courageous for my husband and I to do, to help start my career. Having the opportunity to join the public defender's office, that was an accomplishment. The work that I did in the district attorney's office, that too was an accomplishment. And then finally having the distinction of working adjacent to the Louisiana Supreme Court, that too is an accomplishment. But I can't say that any of them are my greatest accomplishment. That story is still yet to be told.
Okay, so my next question for you is, can you explain your judicial philosophy in plain English?
Sure. My judicial philosophy is that I will follow the rule of law. That's
Okay.
it.
That's perfect. That's really
Yes.
all you need to say then.
That's right. That's right.
Last but not least, the question I have you to close out is, how will you work to ensure equality for people of all backgrounds in your courtroom?
The opportunity as a judge for me is taking in the enormity of understanding that judges are the administrators of justice. And so, as I shared earlier, my understanding of the healthy skepticism that many in our community feel for the judicial system, what I will do is just work very hard as a public servant to assure litigants that when they come before me, and they'll know this by how I present myself,
Sure.
that they will be treated with respect, that they will be seen, that they will be heard, that their matters are important, that we as professionals will treat each other with respect. That's what I will require from the attorneys. They're healthy advocates. The law requires, the Code of Professional Conduct requires attorneys to be zealous advocates for their clients. So they are supposed to do that,
Sure.
but you still do that with civility. And so that will also inure or pass on to the litigants. So no matter what their station is, they will be treated with respect. Their issue before the court will matter. And as a public servant, I will just work hard for that they will see in how my courtroom operates, that the vision that we have with Lady Justice, whose scales are balanced, who wears a blindfold, that's the impression that I will want them to leave my courtroom knowing that they experienced. Now, in issues of disputes, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
Sure.
But I believe as people, if we feel seen and heard, they may not agree ultimately with the decision, but they'll know that they have their day in court.
Absolutely. And they're going to feel that it was fair and just.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Before we close, I'd like you to, if there's something else you'd like to add in the closing comments, feel free to talk a little bit more about yourself or some of the other things that you think about and you'd like to do as a judge.
Okay.
Okay?
I want to thank the voters of the 16th Judicial District, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Iberia parishes, just for all that you've done in remaining engaged during this season of elections. But it's not over yet. We need you, our community needs you, to vote. You've heard all of the commercials, you've listened to forums, you've probably welcomed different candidates as they're walking their neighborhoods or seeing you in a grocery store, visited you at church. But now is the time for you to do your role in being a part of this, which is, by extension, community service. Exercising our civic duties is probably more crucial now than ever. I'm strongly asking, go vote early. Make sure that you have deliberately and intentionally educated yourselves on all of the candidates that are on the ballot and all of the issues that are on the ballot, so that when you go and vote, you will vote in accordance with what your sound judgment is based on information that you've gathered. Now, as it relates to me, I am Ty Porter Green. I'm number 74 on your ballot, and I'm very humbly asking for your vote. But I'm not just asking for your vote without any appreciation of the gravity of what I'm asking of you. I know that's a big ask, but the truth is that I am called to serve you. As a judge, I'm bringing with me 26 years of legal experience across all areas of the law. And so I am prepared to work, to do my part, to restore justice, to restore faith in the judicial system. I'm ready to do my part to hold us accountable. So litigants in the court will be held accountable. Professionals that provide services to litigants in the court will be held accountable. Law enforcement, educators, community providers, as you intersect with the court, you will be held accountable. But that's that same accountability that I hold myself to. So I thank you so much for, again, your engagement during this time. And I ask you, when you go vote, please remember me, Thailund Tai Porter Green, your candidate for District Court Judge Division H, number 74 on your ballot. Thank you, and God bless.
That's it for Chamber Chat. Thank you, Ms. Green, for appearing on Chamber Chat, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Thailund Tai Porter Green, candidate for 16th District Court Judge Division H, which includes Iberia, St. Martin, and St. Mary parishes. I'm a public servant committed to the rule of law and the even-handed application of it. I'm a leader that believes in a system that everyone can access, regardless of their ability to pay, one where our citizens feel heard and seen. I'm a leader that believes the village must be a part of the solutions to the problems that plague its most vulnerable, our youth. I'm a dedicated community servant that has served in multiple capacities in educational, civic, religious, and social arenas. Let's be a part of the solution together. Vote for me, Thailund Tai Porter Green, number 74, 16th District Court Judge, Division H. I humbly thank you for your vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Ty Porter Green to the 16th Judicial District Court Judge, Division H.